Guys, I want you to think about your life. Think about all the work you've put in to become you. Remember those lonely nights where nobody gave you a shot and people made fun of you being on the bus stop? That used to be you. And it definitely used to be me. But I was determined I was going to be somebody. I wasn't going to just stay dusty and broke all my life. I had to work to make it. Just like many of you guys, you really, really, really worked to make it. People didn't give you a shot. People said you couldn't do it. But every day you got a little bit better. And now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. Some of you now live in different countries. Some of you now have nice jobs. Some of you have nice homes. And you did it all by yourself. But just imagine that you would have the opportunity to mess it all up. And let's say, for example, it was a false allegation from, you guessed it, a woman you were dating. How would you handle it? What would you do? Or better yet, what could you do? And I want to talk about this because just one mistake could throw it all away. Now, it'd be different if you said that this was actually the truth. But what if it wasn't the truth? How would you feel about yourself? And I think this is what's going on with Mr. Jonathan Majors. Now, Jonathan Majors recently was arrested, let out of jail for allegedly putting hands on his girlfriend by the way she is Caucasian. But as I see right now, Entertainment 360, one of the most prominent talent firms in Hollywood, they dropped Jonathan Majors yesterday. His public relations firms, the Lede Company or Lede Company, dropped him also. What does that mean? Well, with Hollywood agencies dumping him, he could be missing out on millions. And one of the reasons why this is happening is because there are articles talking about Jonathan Majors that might be devastating to his career. And you guessed it, these articles that are being written about him are coming from people like allegedly Vanity Fair, magazines like that are also taking, some information for some of his former white colleagues in college that say, you know what, Jonathan Major is abusive. He is not a cool guy. He shouldn't be allowed in Hollywood. And all of that work gone just like that. I want to talk to black men and men in general, but black men in particular, about understanding how you have to handle things. Look at Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan is squeaky clean. All right? All the time. If people take shots at him, like Lori Harvey, he never responds. He's worked too hard to let anything mess himself up. Jonathan Majors, from what I've been told, has had problems like this in the past, but he may have been a little bit too overconfident. And I'm telling you that overconfidence is a deal breaker. For a lot of black men who don't earn as much, just always think about your life, right? If you earn more than the average person in America as a black man, you are blessed. Just think about that. If you can make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, you're blessed. Most American men don't make that. You have to protect what you make. If there is problems with women at any point, a woman hitting you, a woman saying this about you, just know that if the police are involved, for the most part, you're going to go to jail. And even if you do get out of jail, that's still on your record. All right? You have to understand that there's nobody going to help you. Unless you can afford a lawyer, nobody is going to help you. And who can crucify you? The court of what? Public opinions. That's what you need to understand. Once it gets out that you're abusive, unless you own your own business, but if you work for people, it can be damaging, especially if you're somebody that the society saw as being prominent. So this is why your relationships with women is very imperative. Black men have to play defense. I even know guys who don't even date in the States, bro. Like, it's that bad. I know men, I'm telling you the truth, they do not even date in the United States. They work in America. They will take a flight over to Colombia and date only in Colombia. And if they need to get their rocks off, they'll do it on a webcam call. They'll go to OnlyFans. Whatever you got to do to keep the bag going is what you need to do. Under any circumstances, you cannot risk what you've worked so hard to build for yourself, what you worked so hard to build for your family. You definitely cannot afford to get into any kind of physical altercation with any woman. I don't care if she started it. Always know, if you're a man, you're bigger, you're stronger, they're not going to look at it from that perspective unless you got it on video. They're going to look at it as, oh my God, how could a small lady like that hurt a big guy like you? All right? That's how they're going to look at it, guys. And you got to understand that. And men, and I'm talking about men's rights, you know, a lot of the stuff that goes on in the manosphere, man, it's just a whole bunch of talk. Nothing is coming out of these things that are helping men as far as the laws. You got to understand it, right? Look at the guy, Hakimi. That guy, he protected himself by putting the money into the mom's account. You got to protect yourself by playing defense. Because I'm telling you, men are not going to come to your side. We have no think tanks. We have no people that push laws for us. We have no money, no voting blocks like that protect men's rights. Zero. There is nothing that's like that. Until men develop that stuff, nobody's going to take it serious. And that's something that we need to understand. All right? You cannot ruin what you've worked so hard for. Some of y'all got a mom. Some of y'all got kids. Some of you have goals. Some of you have a pension. You have all of these things that you need to pay for, bro. And you cannot give anybody the opportunity to bring you down. Look at what they're doing to Marcus Houston. Marcus Houston simply wanted to marry a younger woman. What are they trying to do? I'll tell you, they're trying to make the man out to be a predator. That's even just publicly being happy, being a 41-year-old man married to a 22-year-old woman with no signs of any kind of foul play. They're just trying to ruin the guy. We're in a culture where people get paid for ruining folks. But one thing you can never let happen is to let them ruin. You cannot ruin yourself. Control your tempers. All right? You may never be able to respond or control what happens to you. You can always control how you respond. And I'm not always saying that I respond the right way or respond in the best way, but age brings about a change. And I want you to always have your bag. I want you to always have your money. I always want you to have what you've worked so hard to build for yourself because you deserve it. Why should you not have it? And never let somebody take it from you. And of course, I'm going to tell you, this is not every woman, but there are going to be some women out there who believe that they have nothing to lose by saying you did X, Y, and Z. And if they didn't do X, Y, and Z, they could just apologize and nothing will happen to them. And you know what? That's right. They can come out and say almost anything about guys. And it's not true. Look at what Chris Brown, that whole yacht incident. The girl said he did X, Y, and Z. Couldn't prove it. Nothing happened to her. But his name still got tarnished. Even though it's a lie. You gotta be careful, guys. Well, guys, it's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.